morning's live, which I was going to do an update, but because it's Thanksgiving today, I decided to do a live because there's a lot to talk about, and I thought it'd be well done if we did it in a live setting. I'd be able to do it a little bit longer, but I don't know how long I'm going to be on. As I said, it's Thanksgiving, so everybody watching, I'd like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. If you're watching this after, make sure you spend some time with friends and family, stay safe, push the power of positivity, and approach the day in that form. So with what I'm seeing this morning, XRP's down about just under 1%. We had a nice move here with AMP. We've talked about this for several days. So if anybody bought this, congratulations. Obviously, you risk management now because it went up some. We bought it at 0048 and 0052. I've definitely taken profits now. It made a big move that I wanted it to make. So now I'm reevaluating it for another drop down to rebuy it. It's just that simple. It had such an overzealous surge up that I took my capital, and now I'm watching from the sidelines. As far as XRP goes, I took a little bit of an exposure to a little bit more risk. But as far as it looks, it came down to $1.44, started breaking back up, and now the crypto market, after that short little burst where Bitcoin just went over 96,000, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if it's going to come through here now, because if we're going to get some kind of rally, we have a beautiful W reversal here down at $1.28. I was hoping that it would, after it came down and retested the support structure, which it came down, created this little W here, and I was hoping that it would bounce off of here and give us a nice Thanksgiving. But right now we're very volatile, so we're looking to hold $1. I would say it's that $1.41 area if it were to come down, but really we want to hold this reversal pattern that was starting here, and that's at about $1.43.9. So it would be very much in our benefit here to play off of this W reversal. With the way that things are playing out here. Night Owl, good morning. Wales, Josie Wales, welcome in and happy Thanksgiving to you. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Greatly appreciate that. Jorge, good morning, and thanks for tuning in and being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XP Meter and being a very trusted mod. Muhammad, good morning. David, happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. Jorge, thank you for that. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XP 589 Moon badge. Kirsten, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. So, I mean, we did get a little bit of a Thanksgiving gift here this morning. I know XRP is still kind of consolidating, but at least we got some a present here with AMP. We were very much on AMP, and right on air, I bought more, a couple 100,000 at 5.0052, and then it just had this explosive rally a day and a half later. And now you can risk management. This had a big surge up. Who knows which level it's going to hold? Maybe it holds the 008 level, but we'll see. That was just a phenomenal move that made, and I was happy to see that at least. I see my portfolio was way up. I'm like, well, what the hell is going on? I looked at the charts and I seen XRP was down. I seen the whole market's red, and I never even looked at AMP because it was on the other page. I'm like, I don't understand how I'm up, because my portfolio was up like $1,000 when I woke up today, and everything is down. And I'm like, well, what is going on here? And then when I went to AMP, it was up like 65% when I woke up. I'm like, holy. So that was good to see. Fuel, welcome in. Let me get my phone out because there was a lot of comments. Like I said, I decided to come on here, and I know it's Thanksgiving, but I was going to do an update, and I just didn't feel like I could get it all out, and I wanted to make sure I touch base with the entire audience. I don't think we're going to have a large audience today just because it's Thanksgiving, and how many people are really looking to look at crypto right now in the morning. But, I mean, it's a beautiful community we have, but we're going to go over a lot with XRP. We're going to go over some news about Ripple, how they're going to invest in the rebranded Bitwises XRP ETP, which is extraordinary news. So what I'm starting to speculate here, as in Tether, you know how when the U.S. wants to pump up crypto and Tether Treasury will print billions of dollars in Tether, is that what Ripple's going to do with RLUSD and pump their own token, XRP? Has anybody ever thought of that phenomenon? I have, and it makes me so very excited. I feel like the groundwork's being laid for something extraordinary. And now they don't even need capital from outside sources. As we found out a few months ago, the entirety of the United States digital tether and USDC. Basically, at least Tether's wise, and then it's said that Ripple, because of their volatility and how much they move per tokens with how they do it with big business, it's said that 60 to 70% of the entirety of USDT or USDC, the volume is handled by Ripple. That's why they came out with the RLUSD stablecoin. Now with that further news that Ripple is going to invest in the rebranded XRP ETP on Bitwise, I think something bigger is happening. And now you see, how long did we sit at 50 cents when we had the accumulation phase? How long did we sit there? And now we're sitting at $1.46, and you'll still hear people say, oh, XRP is a pile of garbage. It never moves. And it's like, I don't know, man. We bought it at 34 cents. And if you told me all I'd have to do is sit on it for a year and a half, and then I'd get a chance to buy more at 38 and then sit on it again for a few months, and I could be up from 34 cents to $1.46. I mean, in what right world would you say, nope, that doesn't sound like a good deal? Because in most scenarios, your money's just going to be sitting in the bank, sitting in a safe, wherever. Most people aren't investing in precious metals. They're investing in themselves. They're investing in the bars, the video games, the quick, easy pleasure ride, pleasure-filled moments. That's not my game. I'm looking for pure investment. And that's why I thought AMP was a great opportunity. Yeah. Now, today, someone's going to get an AMP, and they're going to be pissed because it's already went way up, and they're like, I'm going to buy it now. It's on this little support structure. What if it comes down and it needs to retest the breakout point? What if this was the move? And we bought it at 0047 and 0052. I think that was the time to buy it. Now, if you buy it after the big pump, now who knows where it's going to consolidate. That's the biggest problem with buying after the rally. But I'm very happy I woke up to that, because I know a few people in the audience that actually bought it after I bought it. Not yesterday's stream, the night before. It was 2 days ago. Night Owl, thank you so much for that $10 donation. Your first YouTube super chat. It says, happy holidays to you and the fam, Tom. Yes, happy holidays to everybody in the audience, and you in particular as well, my friend Night Owl. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We don't want Ripple to burn the reserves. Brit, if Ripple burns the reserves, I'm out. If Ripple burned 50% of the XRP tokens, it wouldn't interest me like it does now. It's the capital of all of the circulating supply that intrigues me with Ripple. They're looking to fund more than just you and I. We're not even supposed to be funded by Ripple. They want to do institutions, big banks, big business, the big guys. So you need that circulating capital. So everybody talks about the burn, but I think it's less appealing if you do burn all the tokens. That's just my personal assumption, because this isn't like a normal cryptocurrency. Our whole value here is the amount of surplus we have in supply and the way that we can basically front run a lot of different things in the world. But if we take away all of the circulating supply, I think that's the biggest misconception with XRP. XLM didn't jump 50% because they burned a few tokens, my dear. XLM jumped 500% because there was a rumor that XRP and XLM was going to fund the Fed now with HBAR. Fact. That's why it jumped. Fact. And once that was dispelled a little bit, but once it came out that was, not maybe 100% entirely the case, you've seen a substantial pullback. And I said a long time ago, because of the price point with XLM and XRP, XLM was it's supposed to be about typically 3.3 to 1 between XRP to XLM. It was at about 6 to 7 to 1. That's why at 8 cents I proclaimed that XLM was a better buy than XRP at 34, even though I bought both, but I bought more of XLM. But I proclaimed on air forever that it's a better buy where it was at, because it could net you better returns just to flatten the gap. And now we had a nice correction of 28%, but I don't deny, Britt, that some of that could be from burning, but I believe most of it was because of the fact that the Fed came out with Fed Now, and they actually, an article came out about it, and it said XRP and XLM to power, or at least in the running to power the new Fed system, which we've been talking about this since 21. This isn't news to me. I knew this was going to happen. It's just a matter of being patient, and damn, I'm patient. Oh, I'm patient. Very patient. And I can be patient because of things like AMP. I know where to put legs, and I know where to feed them. I know exactly where to wire the money when it needs to be. And like VELO, somebody mentioned VELO, painfully behind. Painfully behind. I suspect that if we can hold this breakout here, looks like we're trying to make an inverse pattern here, inverse head and shoulders. We could come down to 165. I have over 100,000 tokens of VELO waiting. Now, on this back test, I am very tempted to throw some of those AMP profits that I made and throw it into VELO this morning. Very tempted. Very tempted. But as it is, I did gain a little more exposure to XRP. I got a couple $100 at a 5X. That's my own personal trading. You can do whatever the hell you want. Excuse my French. I have a little exposure to Bitcoin as well. I know, believe it or not. Just a small $200 trade at 5X. And it would net me a loss of $10.40 on Bitcoin. About $37 on XRP if it doesn't play out in the Bitcoin simple. Very, very simple here. All I did was I went to 94,000, I believe, 200. Underneath what looks like a big W reversal to me. That's just me. And looks like it created an inverse head and shoulders. I'm looking for the rally to 100K. Have some exposure to it for a $10 risk. For XRP, all I did was bought the W reversal. Again, I waited for the consolidation. Seeing a setup that I liked. Bought it. Put a stop loss at about $1.41. It's about or $1.41, $1.42. It's about a $38 risk for XRP. It's about an $11, $10.80 risk for Bitcoin. Called it a day, and if it stops me out, so be it. I made over $1,000 a day on AMP, so a $50 risk is good risk tolerance to me. So you have to base it on your portfolio. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to do this and that. Is your portfolio allowing the risk? Are you trading good enough to allow a little bit of a risk? That's the bottom line. I can't tell you. If you just follow leverage trading, you're probably going to get hammered because a lot of the things I do, it pushes into moments. Like, you better believe I gained a little more exposure to XRP here with that profitability of AMP. I said I can't lose here, and I bought some more XRP, which I would never do. Just as a swinger, I tried to swing from AMP, and I'm swinging some of those profits around. So with the setup I see with XRP, if it breaks this setup, I'll get rid of those extra additional ones, and I'll look for something else. But with what I'm seeing, I want exposure. And it goes with trading. So we'll see what happens here. But I have, until we break $1.44, and I gave it a little bit of room. But until we break this setup, I'm very confident because it looks like a nice reversal. And I know I'm showing that resistance above. But if you look at the charts that XRP was actually setting up right now, that's a move to $1.76. First layer, $1.59. So technically, I'm trying to play this reversal to first layer, $1.59. We have a huge inverse head and shoulders and a perfectly placed W reversal. We back tested the breakout here. Made a big W, well, not a big, but it made a W reversal here in the formation. And it still has not given back this pattern. So, I mean, the breach was here. And we're still holding this formation. If we can come up here today, we're going to have a very nice Thanksgiving. Very nice Thanksgiving if this reverses up. If Bitcoin leads by example here, we're going to have a nice day. We're going to have a nice day. XDC is very close to breaking out as well. You're absolutely correct about that. Absolutely correct. I know it had an initial push to 6.4, back tested the 5.1 like it should have. And now if it gets over 6.4, we have a move to 8.3. So XDC is going to be very much conditioned into this next run if XRP and XLM and some of the others do it. So XRP healthcare seems to be gearing up here again. And I found a solution for some of you who can't trade XRP in the USA. And like for me, I sent some over from the XRP healthcare app, the wallet. And it's coin store. And it's very volatile. But the whole reason for me was I could buy it there if I have to, send it off the exchange and put it back into the wallet. Or if I'm looking for profit, I can sell it. But I'm not looking for profit. This is nowhere near where I'm going. I bought this at 1.7. I think my average is like 2.1. I always say higher than it is, but it's got to be around 2.1 because I had 1.7, then I started buying it at 2.1, 2.4, and then it went down to, so there was a lot. So right now, XRP Healthcare, who's here who's in XRP Healthcare? We are absolutely surging, okay? We are absolutely surging. Do you need Ethereum for, no. If you go on the coin store, You can send, although it's up like, and it led me to suspect that we were about to have a big move today because on CoinStore, it's already up like, it was pushing because there's less liquidity. It was pushing around 11 cents this morning, and we're behind on some of these exchanges. A lot of times you'll see it with the volatility. So that's the only problem I've noticed with the exchanges. Not as much volatility with XRP Healthcare at all. The problem with BitTrue is it doesn't let USA users. I can't do it. I tried. That's the only place I can find in the US right now that let me do the account. I didn't do a KYC or VPN. I sent over 1,000 XRP Healthcare from the app. Worked perfectly. You use the XRP ledger, and it's still sitting on Coinstar. I'm not selling it just because it shows a surge in value, because I'm not looking to sell it. I just wanted to test it out and see how it works. So you can definitely do that, and that's in the video description below and our pinned comments if you need a link in the actual video description. So I did take the extra step to try to find that. Yeah, we don't have the best options right now, but for anybody who's gaining exposure or trying to figure out how to get rid of it, there's options I'm trying to give you. But right now, it's looking absolutely fantastic. As XRP holder, I don't expect more than $5 to $8, which is more. Oh, yeah, you've come to the right community. I don't put that fluff out. I don't put any of the BS out. For me, if I'm being honest, I've said this a billion times. My expectation is to hit $10 with XRP in time. But for this particular rally, we've got two main targets. $2.22, which is out of the major... Oh, and it's been a great, Tanya. It's been a great 8 months for me. A great 8 months. Grab some ARC block. I think $10 for XRP. That's always been my target in the 28 to 32 range. But off of this almost 7-year descending consolidation, our first target here is $2.22 off of that. The main target is $5.49. So I believe it can happen. It's just, I don't believe we're going to go to $10,000 like many proclaim. I just don't. I'm hopeful for a positive Thanksgiving here as far as the XRP price charts, but it's so volatile right now. It's a gamble. It's an absolute gamble from a leverage standpoint. It's an absolute gamble if you were to buy spot right here. I mean, I don't know how I could possibly force myself to buy spot here. I'll do a leverage. I'll put some leverage risk up because of the trade with AMP, but I just couldn't see myself just pouring in the spot, but having a 34 and 38 cent buys. I can't see it. I mean, obviously 90% of it was at 34, but still, I just can't see it. But now, do I think $10 is the max? Absolutely not. I've talked about the path where it could get to 100, but I think we need to get that first double up from 10, and then think about it. If it goes from 10 to 20 and you bought it with me at 34, every time it goes from a 100% move from 10 to 20, that 100% move, it would be everything. It would be everything. Because you get a 100% move and we bought it at 34 cents, which means for every $3.40, we 10x. So you about 2,800% on a 100% move for somebody who buys at $10. That's why I wanted to be an early investor in XRP. And a lot of people are like, you're not an early investor at 34 cents. We were an early investor because we were in a bear market. I bought it at 28, sold at 44, rebought at 34, then rebought at 38 more. Sold some of it at $1.20 from the 38 buy so I could pay off the entire holdings of XRP. Transformed that 3,800, well, actually it was $5,800 because it paid my entire holdings off, and I have over, I have over 10,000. Let's just put it that way. We won't fine tune it, but it's over 10,000 in the cold wallet. But what I was able to do is I put over a couple 100,000 tokens of AMP I bought, which just went up, mind-boggling. I was able to buy 200,000 more DGB, which is up about 50% from that point. I was able to buy ZIL. I was able to buy VeChain. I was able to buy the VELO, the 100,000 tokens of VELO, starting at 0.0, because it was painfully behind the market. And it's now just starting to right the ship, but it was painfully behind. We had such an opportunity here. When XRP made that huge surge, we were still stuck at 1.4 here. We were even stuck down here on November 6th at 0.01. We came down to 1 cent and then 0.09. This is where I proclaimed the audience, you better buy it because we're getting ready to move. And it was at 1.4 cents. And now if you would have just bought it there, you'd at least be up 20% as you're waiting for this consolidation on this ascending back test. So I it just feels like VELO is pretty far behind. So let me timestamp this. I don't think I timestamped this. My audience said I timestamped this. I think I was bad. 202 people, and if you're in here, 77 likes, a 35% like to no like ratio here on Thanksgiving. If you appreciate the fact I came here Thanksgiving morning, I don't know how many people would. Make sure to hit that like button, please. If you respect what I do, hit that like button. With 200 people here, we could make a dent if we hit that like button. I promise you. And a lot of people need to see this info because I'm going to tell you the good, bad, and the ugly. I've got $50 of risk here. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but you don't want to continuously pile yourself into risk if they're not worth it. So I do something different here. And on this Thanksgiving, we need to remember to be together. So I'm simply tired of all the hate in the world. I'm going to continue to perpetuate and preach this message every single time I come on. I'm sick of the hate in the world. I want togetherness, not division, not divisiveness. I want helpful, not hurtful. I want kindness, not rudeness. We are winners here. We are not the victim here. We never have been and we never will be. We are the winners here. And that's me, that's you, that's everybody watching, that's everybody who will watch in the future because we're taking control of our financial future. Whether the plays today pan out or not, our spot positions are crushing it. Whether our profits now are better served putting into another crypto or just piling in more into precious metals, that is up to every individual to do. But we are not the victim. We are the winners. And being the winners, we have to have all the information from an education, news, and charting perspective to make an informed decision. So together we will bring out the love. I will kill everybody with kindness. I will kill this community with kindness until we feel the love. The light always outshines the dark, but you truly need the dark to show just how beautiful the light is. And I firmly believe that. And remember, on this Thanksgiving, don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Don't forget to maintain that humbleness, even if you've made exceptional gains. Don't forget that humility to somebody else who might not be in the same position as you, who might not have bought when you bought. Have the humility and not make fun of somebody who might not have bought XRP at 34 cents with us, and maybe they're sitting here at $1.60 and bashing their head through the wall. They don't need you to make them feel right, period. You know, they don't need you to make you feel in that way. So with that being said, good morning. 9:49 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, November 28th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, you know, there's a lot that I want to say. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything in the comments, especially if anybody was sending YouTube super chats, if anybody had anything important. Robert Montoya, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Do you think it's too late to buy AMP? It's not that it's too late to buy AMP, but the problem is here is when I thought it was a beautiful buy, and I even bought the second time at 0052. The problem is here is everybody's asked, or I'm being asked if it's a bad time to buy AMP. For me to tell you no, and I took profits, would be very disingenuous of me. Very disingenuous. But it's not the worst time, but it's not the best time. Because when you look at it, we talked about it at 00. The first time was 4.4 or 4 cents. But then at this 5.2 area or 5.1, even from here, it's up 53%. It had a huge surge from that 5.2 buy of 87%. When I woke up, it was up 68. I think it was at 8.7. It was right around here, and I sold. I sold my holdings of AMP right there. Only because I know the volatility of AMP, and usually after it has a big move, it'll come back and consolidate most of the way. So I wasn't going to just sit in it when I know the history. So now I could buy it back for a 30% saving. There's no doubt about that. But now with it doing that, I feel like we've had a blow off the top. And now I really want to see how VELO is going to respond, because I believe VELO, if this inverse pattern plays out, there's no doubt in my mind it should be coming up to 2 cents here very quickly. There is no doubt about that. And some people like, Tom, I thought you didn't like the buy and sell spot so much. On BitUniX, I don't have a verified account. So I can basically do it under the designation of it's not even an account I have open. So, you know, you got to be suave in the way you do it. Like, I'm not going to be swing trading on my verified account on crypto.com, because then I'm going to be hit with every single tax known to man. Everything I send to crypto.com is taxed. Everything I withdraw from there is taxed. So I do my tax basis there. So if I want to be a little suave, I'll do it on HOTCOIN or BITUNIX where I don't have a validated account. I'm not verified, no KYC. So that's how I decide to do things. But when I pull profits out, I always pull it through the same avenues for tax purposes. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Philippine and Louisville. Thank you so much for that. Britt says, I don't know about Thanksgiving, but I asked for $10 XRP for Christmas. Oh, well, that would be nice. You might not get $10, but aren't you excited that we're at $1.47 for Thanksgiving? I mean, let's face it, folks. A month ago, we were at 50 cents. Not even. Beginning of November, we're at 50 cents. So it's amazing. It's remarkable where we're at. Looks like a beautiful reversal pattern. Looks like a nice inverse head and shoulders. Looks like a nice W reversal. They're telling me Happy Thanksgiving. Everybody I've said Happy Thanksgiving to says it to me, Julie. I know how people celebrate. I've been a dummy too much before. So now I understand the ritual. But so basically what we're looking at here to validate a move is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can play off of this inverse head and shoulders, it looks like I said, I gained exposure to Bitcoin. I know I don't usually do it. Just like the other day, I had exposure to Ethereum and it rocketed for me. But I like to play the setup. So this is a measly $10 risk or $11. If it breaks down 94,000, I believe I put it at 94,200 was my the stop on here. And the only reason was, actually it was a little bit higher. But it was after this formation broke, because then if it came down here, you could reevaluate. But this is the setup we're looking at this morning. If we're going to get any kind of volatile tug, and I know the volume's a little low this morning, but remember, it's Thanksgiving, so we're not going to get the piling in. Typically, it's a holiday right now. So yeah, the stock market, you got nothing. We had commodities run early, but like as far as the greater stock market, you're not going to see the ETFs and things like that being able to hammer us home today. So your volume is going to be lower. You got to look at this morning like a thinly traded weekend in some senses. So they could definitely manipulate it down easily. Or up. See, that's the thing, or up. But if XRP is going to have a move, I suspect it would have to happen before the escrow dump on the 1st. And some people say, oh, Tom, you know, when they do the escrow dump, it doesn't technically go back into circulation. It doesn't affect anything. Horse manure. I believe that's horse manure. So they're going to unlock 1 billion tokens. Then they relock up 800 billion. Well, you know, at some point, they're finding their way to the market. Or to be locked back up, they're taking them back away from the market. So even if it's 200, the circulating supply is expanding. So if it's expanding on every escrow drop, it in fact is affecting the price because every one that's put into circulation inflates the price. Now it can be, you know, using a tactic to where they're not putting everything on at once, as we know, over 40 billion tokens at once. So the inflationary tactic helps stall the price a little bit so it doesn't completely collapse. But when you inflate something, it's no different than when the U.S. inflates the money supply. Everything costs more for us at the store. It's not because of all the bullshit they feed you in the national narrative. If the money supply is expanding, your goods and services cost more. If the money supply is contracting, your goods and services cost less. Simple economics, but nobody understands it. They will listen to the TV until they're blue in the face and convince everybody else that the money, we're going up because of the greedy businesses and the greedy corporations and those greedy son of a bitches who are willing to give you a job when you can't figure out how to run your own business. I mean, how greedy are we as a human society? Take from the ones who are doing the work and give it to the ones who don't want to lift a single hand. Does anybody remember the story of the pilgrims on this Thanksgiving? There's about 200 people in a particular group of pilgrims that were here. They wanted to thrive, but it was like a community pool, right? We all do everything and it gets evenly distributed. Well, guess what happened to this pillage of the pilgrims? Or guess what happened to this particular group of pilgrims? Very small group of 150 to 200 pilgrims. Half the pilgrims were lazy. They didn't want to do any work. The other half that was doing all the work decided to stop doing work. Guess what happens to the pilgrims because they were lazy? Not the stories you hear in the books. Most of them starved to death because half of them didn't want to work. Then 3/4 of them didn't want to do any pillaging so that they could have food. Nobody wanted to do any cooking. That's what happened. The real stories are the real stories. What they feed you in the books are nonsense. And you're seeing it in society now. So if socialism couldn't work then, how is everybody expecting to not have to lift a single finger to make money? And how are we expecting to not have to do any kind of real work in trading to get ahead? I don't spend all this time because I want to. I spend all this time because you have to. I don't put myself in positions where I can lose because I want to. It's because those are the moments where you can have the volatility of the upside too. That's why I have stop losses. That's why you'll see my trading percentage on leverage is like 40% win loss. But yet I'm up a couple 100% in this last month. Because I'm trying to buy the breakout, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to reevaluate for a 30, 40, 50. In this case, Bitcoin, I didn't even want to buy Bitcoin. But when I measured it up and seen it was a $10 risk, I said, well, I'll take that $10 risk. And then if it breaks under this reversal, well, then we know it's not going to happen. But I'm going to buy the $10 risk. Maybe I should have bought it lower. But if it breaks 94.4, I'm going to target again at 91.8. But I know in my heart, if this breaks down, it's not going to be a so pretty Thanksgiving. So I'm rooting for the market. I am rooting for the market to give us a happy Thanksgiving here. More than you know. More than you know. XRP absolutely wants to push through. It just needs a little bit of help. And Bitcoin could give us that help, but who knows if it's really going to happen today. You know, so that's why I came on. I wanted to touch base here with what's going on. We've been on for 31 minutes. Got up to 133 likes now out of 230 people. That's much better than the 70 we had before. So this is what I want to talk about. Ripple to invest in rebranded Bitwise XRP ETP. Bitwise said that it's planning to rebrand its entire European ETP portfolio as it expands its operations in Europe. Ripple said it will invest in Bitwise's XRP exchange-traded product ETP as the issuer rebrands the offering to strengthen its presence in the European market. On November 7th, Bitwise announced it would rebrand its European XRP ETP, the ETC Group Physical XRP, to the Bitwise Physical XRP ETP. Its ticker GXRP will remain unchanged. The move follows Bitwise's entry into the European market in August when it acquired the ETC Group, a crypto investment firm managing $1 billion in assets, including physical crypto ETPs, the Bitcoin ETP BTCE, Ethereum with staking ET32, Solana ESOL, MSCI Digital Assets Select 20 DA20, and GXRP. A physical ETP is an offering that tracks the performance of underlying assets, which are also bought and held by the producer's or product's issuer. The Bitwise's physical XRP ETF is designed to give European investors exposure to XRP through a physical backed product that holds the underlying asset. Bitwise co-founder and CEO Hunter Horsley said in a news release that XRP and the XRP ledger are some of the most familiar and trusted blockchains in the space. We're thrilled to be providing access for investors to an institutional quality product with the Bitwise Physical XRP ETP GXRP, Horsley added. Bitwise also plans to rebrand its entire European ETP portfolio as part of its efforts to expand its operations across the continent. Bitwise said it's seen significant growth in 2024, highlighting over $10 billion in total client assets. The company added that it plans to launch additional institutional-grade crypto ETPs. The company recently increased its crypto-based products on November 12th. Bitwise lost its first Aptos staking ETP on November 26th. Its S1 registration for ETF tied to Bitcoin. You know, we didn't even look at Ethereum, but it came right down to that support structure. We talked yesterday when I sold my leverage, and the first target was 36.20 or 35.40. Actually, all the way down to 35.20 was that back test. So, I mean, that's an interesting dynamic there with Ethereum as well. Besides the rebrand, Bitwise also said that Ripple will invest in GXRP. Although the financial details were not disclosed, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse highlighted a surge in global demand for crypto-backed investment products in 2024. With the U.S. regulatory environment for crypto finally becoming more clear, this trend is poised to accelerate, further driving demand for crypto ETPs, such as the Bitwise Physical XRP ETP, Garlinghouse said. So I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We'll take a look at HBAR as well. But yeah, XRP is very tight right now. If we look at the crypto total liquidations here, we've got 83 million in longs and 183 million short traders liquidated here across the market. If we look at XRP, again, longs are still getting slaughtered in comparison, 2-to-1. And I know it's not as high, but it's been there's been a lot of 2-to-1 ratios here with long versus short. This is, I'm telling you right now, this is driving the condition for a bullish push up for XRP. Whether it's today, tomorrow, and the days to come, with all these short traders being liquidated and the long all the long traders being liquidated and shorts seemingly still having a majority left open after, we lost a significant portion here. It started to shift towards the longs in a big way. So now it's starting to reverse back. Now the long traders, are starting to, it's so weird here because they liquidated all the shorts and then they went through and liquidated all the longs. As you can see, longs longs overpowered the shorts. Started still longs being overpowered. Little flip yesterday, longs a little bit overpowered today. So with that being said, I look for that kind of fundamental setup here in the leverage market to tell me if there is room to the top side. And then I couple it with the Bitcoin heat signature map or the liquidation heat map. I like to put it in the one monthly, just to, actually the weekly might work in the sense right now because we'll be able to see what built. But that looks like an inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin. I don't know about you guys, and I don't know if it's going to hold the short term right now, but it looks like an inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin, along with a W reversal here as well on this consolidation. The biggest problem here for a continuation down in any significant way is once you get to $99,050, 526 million in short liquidations for Bitcoin. 99,100, 483 million, then 463, 510, 520, 500, 475, 423. By the time you get to 99,700, 622 million, 66 or 99,750, another 686 million, 99,800, 630 million in short liquid. Look how much liquidation there is. If Bitcoin hits 100K, it's going to liquidate so many short traders. It's going to have so much leverage here. That's what I like to look at. I like to look at that like very deeply. Do you do any meme coins or do you stay far away? I don't do meme coins. I don't like meme coins because they have these unbelievable run-ups, but then they always rug pull who's ever left in it at the end. So if you buy it in the beginning and you're early, so be it. But every single person who's in a meme token, at the end, if you stay in too long, you get rug pulled and you lose 99%. It happens every single year. So I stay with the ISO IoT. For me, like I've said, my meme token, and real quick, the crypto greed and fear index is 77. It's extreme, or 77 extreme greed right now. You can smell it already. Oh yeah, you can. But what I do is like me for speculation, I have XRP healthcare. Its total circulating supply is 99.8 million tokens. That's the max it can ever have. Less than 100 million tokens. So I target things that I think have utility. So I think this is utility. So I started buying this instead of buying some meme tokens like some want at 1.8 cents. So you figure from where I started buying, and this is just getting started. It's up 346. So I don't need a meme token to make gains. I've got many different tokens that have made me 300, 400, 500%. I've had tokens that'll jump up 600, 700%, but I like the utility tokens. I want ISO and IoT. Does it mean it's going to work out today? As far as if somebody just jumps in and they're like, I'm going to do a 20x trade. No, it doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean it's going to work out if you pop in today and buy XRP at $1.46. Absolutely not. And right now it's starting to trend in the way we don't want it. We need to hold 143.8. We want Bitcoin to hold the 94,000. What was that on that reversal? We want Bitcoin to hold this right here at 94,655. So basically we got a $600 wall here with Bitcoin. We've got about a 3-cent wall with XRP. Can we hold this and can we continue to push up? Or on this Thanksgiving, is it going to be a day of where we give thanks, but the crypto market takes advantage and, liquidate some of us? We got Black Friday coming tomorrow. We're going to have a Black Friday sale on crypto. That's the questions we need to ask ourselves. But don't put a lot of exposure if you can't handle it. And right now, look at H-bar. That's a beautiful inverse head and shoulders. I almost want to add exposure here. I bought at 4.8 cents. But that is a big inverse head and shoulders there that is very defined here. That looks like a defined inverse head and shoulders. Like some of the market is teasing us right now. It really is, because XRP's teasing the same kind of fundamental setup here with the inverse setup on the short term. Now we have to see if they become invalidated. That's the crazy part. You need this kind of volatility to have unbelievable moves. It's just when you try to pick a spot with such a tight range. That's why I say leverage trading, XRP is a bitch. Leverage trading Bitcoin or Ethereum, much easier. You got a bigger, look at, because you can buy a range, and like for Bitcoin, that range is a $10 hit. XRP, the same range is about a $40 hit. So you're looking at a 4-to-1 differential on risk tolerance. Obviously, the reward can be a lot greater for XRP if it bounces up. But if you're looking to hold something and you're looking to try to value it and try to be able to maintain it before the move, it's pretty tricky, this market. It's pretty tricky. So, what else do I need to go over? Is there anything else we want to talk about here? As we have our turkey that's cooking right now. I don't like to buy the store ones with the antibiotics and all that, so I pay extra for the turkeys with no antibiotics. It was like, I don't know, probably 3 times the amount of what you'll buy or 4 times the amount of in a store. But that's the way I roll, especially with my meats. XRP trending. I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's trending right now. I mean, it's definitely getting a lot of popularity amongst the big buyers. Like if we go into some of the news, I mean, it's got a buy signal right now on TradingView, which hasn't happened very often. That's for H-bar. So it's good to see that. XRP, see the overview. Buy for XRP too, which is nice. So big Ripple XRP announcement soon. Company burns million of RLUSD tokens. So this was some news breaking this morning. So big Ripple XRP announcement soon. Company burns millions of RLUSD. So Ripple stablecoin is reportedly ready for launch, pending New York Department of, or NYDFS, whatever. I'll let you guys figure it out. Approval. XRP remains strong, boosted by political shifts in anticipation of RLUSD's release. Currently trading at $1.46 with further potential upside. Is it launch time? Ripple took center stage in April this year, displaying its plans to introduce a stablecoin pegged 1-to-1 to the American dollar. Over the past several months, the team disclosed that the product's name will be RLUSD and will be available on the XRP ledger and Ethereum. Towards the end, began testing the stablecoin, alerting users that purchasing and trading will be available or open once it received the necessary regulatory approval. The team minted and burned a vast amount of RLUSD during the testing phase. Most recently, ex-user Vet claimed that almost all stablecoins have been burned. On each Ethereum and XRP ledger, there was only around 100,000 RLUSD left. The announcement triggered speculation that the product's launch might be just around the corner. However, Vet reminded the RLUSD will see the light of day once the New York Department of Financial Services, which is what I was going to say, but I didn't want to say it wrong, gives the green light. Earlier this month, Monica Long, Ripple's president, said the team is operationally ready to launch the product. However, whatever the hell that is, they also maintain that, I just got worded together. She also maintained that development is in the hands of the New York Department of Financial Services. It's up to them. They are reviewing our trust application. It's going to be in their hands when they are approving it. XRP price outlook. Some analysts have previously suggested that the further advancement of RLUSD and its eventual launch could positively impact XRP's price. My whole speculation is Ripple going to pull out a page out of Tether? Are they going to print and then they're going to back their own token? So what I'm saying is Ripple going to start minting and taking some of the RLUSD. Warning, USDC is on the up. Dropped when Bitcoin made its recent recovery. Interesting. That's a good visual that you have there. So Ripple's native token has spiked 3% in the last 24 hours, currently trading at around $1.46. It remains one of the best performing cryptocurrencies in the last month, following Donald Trump's win in the U.S. presidential election. Gary Gensler is the chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, confirmation to vacate his post in January 25. Gensler is known for his anti-crypto stance, and agency has filed countless lawsuits against cryptocurrency businesses during his tenure. Perhaps the most popular is the legal battle against Ripple. The XRP army now expects a faster and potentially favorable resolution under Gensler's successor, who, according to some reports, might have a totally different approach to the new digital asset sector. So, I mean, right now, I mean, we're range bound right now. I think when I woke up, we were at $1.44. Went up to only $1.47. Now we're sitting at right about $1.46. Haven't done much. So, we'll see how this transpires here today. I pretty much got everything I want. I got stuff to do here for Thanksgiving. How many people will wake up when Brad goes on 60 Minutes on Sunday? Some. I think some. If it doesn't break out before the escrow dump, we could, in theory, with the setup that we have formed right now, if we keep it valid, I mean, I'm starting to look at something like this, a little range that's being formed here, and I think we can do a better job by doing it like this. But I do think we're starting to set up something like this, and we haven't been able to break quite outside of this just yet. So, I mean, and you can look at it a little farther down, but right now, we really want to break out of this. We don't want to have further consolidation and invalidate this little W reversal we put here. Otherwise, we could come down to $1.37 again. We would like to see this hold in this inverse setup, but right now, like I said, it's very choppy right now. It's very choppy. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, if you have exposure here from the leverage side, be very careful. When the market takes profits, USDC skyrockets for a stable coin. When the market pumps, it drops. Absolutely. And then USDT as well is another one that we can look at. Is USDT, when the market's getting ready to dump a little bit, USDT rises. Now, are we saying that we're about to rise in USDT? Because if we are, that's not necessarily a good thing for crypto. Now, if we're saying that it's just coming up for a short-term consolidation, okay, but if this is starting some kind of reversal here, you know, we got to pay attention to that. We were hoping it would come down to 3.47 and continue that bear flag drop, but it might not. It may reverse back. So it's very tight here this morning. It's very tight. In fact, if you're not in anything, I'd be looking at Ethereum on this back test. Because we talked yesterday how it probably wouldn't hold the broadening wedge on the first hit, and it would come back here, and the next opportunity would be if it backtests and holds that 3,528. Just like XRP, I said if it went to $1.43 or $1.44 yesterday, or what was it? $1.43 area? No, $1.41 or something. It was either, I think, $1.43. But this is where the real back test for Ethereum now. If it can hold 3,528, it's going to have some volatility to 3,800. We talked about the potential triple bottom inside a broadening wedge where I pointed that arrow, and that's exactly what played out. That's why we had that big surge. I'm glad we were able to take advantage of it yesterday. But now, of course, you know, the worst part about trading is once you have a nice volatile day to the upside, now the next day, all of a sudden, you have that consolidator day, and it's a matter of, are you having the proper protocol? Do you have the proper risk management? And if you're in a spot trade, are you buying before rallies? And if you're in the accumulation, and if you're in leverage, are you buying it before the breakout? And do you have a fundamental pattern set up to where you know where a stop loss can be placed if it goes the wrong way so you can minimize your risk? If you can answer yes to all of that, you're a good trader. If you answer no to any part of that, you must study deeper and immediately disband leverage trading at once. Rebranded, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Match, and happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend. I'm glad I came on live this morning. Bitcoin ETF makes this bull market very different. Maybe meme coins aren't going to pump as much. It does make it very different with that Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF for all intents and purposes, because a lot of money is finding its way to the real utility part of the market. And that's why after this surge after Trump's election, because now we have that, it's not because Trump got elected, it's because with Trump in office, we know the US is ready to go digital. So the tokens that are starting to make the push are the ISO, the IoT tokens. I dare say DGB is very undervalued still. Like, to me, it's still within, it looks like a pennant flag consolidation. Like, That's what intrigues me with DGB in this consolidation. It's no different. I mean, it looks like a pennant flag. And as long as this holds at the 1 cent mark, I mean, we're looking at some volatility here. Like, kind of like what you've seen with AMP. You're going to get a quick volatile strike low. So let's just say it happens here. You can get some quick spikes. If it breaks down, we're going to reevaluate. We're going to keep buying. I'm going to buy more because it's still going to be in my buying range. So, but I wanted a volatile move on Thanksgiving. I came on because I wasn't sure. And if I did an update, you wouldn't get to hear me talk back and forth like this with myself. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I'm going to go take care of the stuff here. Remember, we're treading on a dangerous line right now because if we invalidate this setup here where it's going to be a little bit of pain, not in the morning, not just if we invalidate the small W, but if we invalidate this short-term structure at like $1.43.7, we very well might find ourselves consolidating down to $1.37 again. We don't want to lose this structure. Like, if you're looking for some great volatility, you do not want to lose this setup, but it looks like we're probably going to. The way it looks right now, unless we get some volatile swing here, it doesn't look great right now. It doesn't look great right now. The overall setup doesn't look awful, but we really want to break out of this range. I can't explain it enough or describe it enough. We really wanted to break out. So now somebody's asking, if we break down from here, there's a chance we could even come and ride this to $1.37. But it definitely changes the outlook if we fall back into this pattern. But yeah, USDT and USDC inflows are back, which is not a bad thing. That can lead to upward volatility. But at the same time, it's Thanksgiving. A lot of people are out, not paying attention to the market. And I would not put it past these market makers to do something here. So we'll watch here. We'll appropriately plan and make sure you monitor your risk. That's it. I advise anybody who's leveraging, I would probably tolerate that risk now. I'd probably hone that back a little bit. So unless you find your perfect spot, it's going to be a little volatile here. So monitor your risk. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I got to go. I got to go help Julie. Have a blessed one, everybody. 222 people on the way out. That's all the message we need to see. Stay